Hello, this is Naren 3-phase digital starter model MC-25. This can be used for 1 HP to 7.5 HP 3-phase motors. So it's a compact design. It's a new introduction to our range of products, and the product feature includes auto start unit. Since this is mainly focused for the agricultural sector and industrial sector, this has this auto start unit built in. So auto start unit is a feature that will allow the motor to start as soon as the power resumes. Then it has a built-in dry run or undercurrent relay. So that is when the ampere drops down. So that is when the device turns off the motor. Then it has a digital overload relay. So it has a digital overload relay, meaning it will trip the motor when the ampere exceeds the set ampere set overload ampere range. Then it has a single phase protection. So single phase protection meaning it has both current sensing and voltage sensing type single phase protection. So meaning if one of the incoming supply lines is not there, the motor is not allowed to run. And also if one of the motor cables is damaged, or if it is not connected or cut in between, even in that case the motor is not allowed to run. So it has the single phase protection for both voltage as well as the current sensing mechanism. Then it has a phase sequence check, meaning the supply voltages, 3-phase supply voltages has to be in a proper direction. When one of the lines interchange, or if the phases are not in the right direction, so that means the motor would be turning on in the reverse direction. So meaning the water will not be pumped up. So in order to avoid that, or when the sequences are reversed, this will not allow the motor to switch on, and there will be a pop-up on the display. So you can have a look and you can change the sequence so that the motor runs in the right direction. Then it has a 3-phase ammeter and a 3-phase voltmeter. Both are digital, and the readings are very accurate, which can be compared to any meters, multimeters. And then to summarize the whole feature set, it has a built-in auto start unit, dry run protection relay, overload protection relay, single phase protection which includes both voltage sensing and current sensing mechanism. It has a 3-phase ammeter and voltmeter which is digital, and it has a phase sequence check. Another important feature is it has an auto amp set, which has to be it's a main add-on to this particular product. You need not set the undercurrent and overcurrent values independently. So if the motor is running, you can press the second button for a period of 5 to 6 seconds. The device itself will auto calculate the low current and high current to be adjusted, and it auto sets. So that's a very important feature given in this product. So coming to the outlook, the product has a complete metal body. It's a powder coated MS body. It has 3-phase supply indicators, RYB indicators. These indicators are the regular indicators which are not, the PCBs are not given here. So the idea is, just in case if any of the indicator fails, it is easy to replace. And then it has this motor protection unit, or we call this as a motor controller. It's a new design, and the display is something which is unique for this particular product. And this unit has 4 buttons to make the settings. This is the auto on off switch, and then increment and decrement button, and the set button. Of course auto set feature is there. And then we have on and off push buttons. So this is the motor start and motor stop, just in case you're using this in the manual mode. You have a motor on indication and power on off switch only for this controller. So if at all you are leaving the motor unused and you want this display to be off, or the controller power supply to be cut off, you can always switch off this switch so that the supply to the controller is cut. Then coming to the interior of the panel. So the panel interior includes this indicators looks like this. Okay, the panel has this NMU1 contactor. It's a MU mold. We give it an NMU1 contactor. And then it has the CT gang box, so, and a connector of course to replace the CTs just in case you need to. And then we have this connectors for incoming and outgoing. So this is the incoming 3-phase supply which is to be given to this particular set on the left hand side, and the outgoing motor cable has to be connected on the right hand side connectors. So this is the output connector. So I hope everything is clear with respect to the outlook. So the main advantage of designing a controller like this is to give out the easy replaceability for the user. Just in case controller has to be replaced for some reason, you can easily take out all the wires with the respective connectors, and then you can replace the unit. So unscrewing these will get the whole console out. You can put back the new one and rewire according to the same color coding. Okay. It's very simple to replace the controller, and this controller carries a warranty of 8 months from the purchase date, and again, of course, after the warranty period it is still repairable, and in between if you want to replace also, that facility is there, and the replacement is very easy. So this is about the outlook. It's a very neatly designed panel which are very compact in size. I'll now be powering on the device. So as soon as you power on, this is how the display looks like. This is a beautiful display again, which has a white backlight and the black characters on top. So the first line of the display shows the three-phase supply voltage. So you might notice the first line reads the voltage. Here there are three indicators, R, Y and B. So if it is R and Y, indicates RY voltage. Now it is Y and B. YB voltage is 425. Likewise, this is R and B voltage, which is 430. So all the three voltages are scrolling every 5 seconds. So RY voltage is 433. Again, YB voltage is 424. Likewise, the second line is used to display the ampere or the current drawn by the motor. So right now the motor is in off state, and hence it says off. So let us quickly turn on the motor in manual mode and see how the display looks like. So to switch on the motor, we are using this green button. The motor turned on and you can see this light popping up. And this is the currents which are getting displayed on the second line. So again, three-phase currents are getting displayed here. So you can see these three small dashes beneath the value. So this indicates the phases. R phase is 5.4 amps. Similarly, Y phase is 6.4. And we'll wait for this is B phase, which is 5.77. so the ampere shown here are decimal digit accurate, so it is easy for you to calibrate also. And for lower HP motors, you can set the voltages in the increments of 0.5, so thereby you are getting a better resolution for undercurrent and overcurrent values. So these are the supply voltage indicators and the voltage values, current indicators and the respective current values. I hope the display is clear. And to switch off the motor, you can use this red button. Pressing this turns off the motor and the display goes to off. So this is how you will see the display as. So we will quickly turn on the auto start feature and just see how it works. So to turn on and turn off the auto start, you are supposed to use this last button which says auto. So pressing and holding this for 5 seconds will switch on the auto start. Similarly, while the auto start is on, if you press and hold it for 5 more seconds, it will turn off the auto start. So right now the auto start is off. I'll turn it on, pressing and holding for 5 seconds. You will see auto on the display. This indicates that the auto start feature is on. So when the auto start feature is on, so let us power off the device and power it back on. So since the auto start feature is on, you will see the countdown and the automatically motor starts. So auto is on, voltages are alright to switch on the motor. Now the auto countdown starts. It is a down counter. So 10 seconds is what the timing is set for power on delay. So yeah, now the motor starts. Motor started. So once the motor starts, then the ampere will show the current display. So auto, the motor is turned on due to auto, that is what this indicates, and then that goes and the voltage shows. So yeah, the motor is on and you can see the parameters as usual. So then to switch off the motor, you can again use the red button. So coming to the auto set feature. So while the motor is running, if you want to automatically set undercurrent and overcurrent values, you can use the second button, which is the up arrow. So pressing and holding will automatically reset the set the undercurrent and overcurrent values. Now the ampere drawn by the motor is 5.5 to 6.46 and around 5 in the last phase again, around 6 in the B phase. Now I'll be pressing and holding this button for auto set for 5 seconds. Yeah, it says auto set, the values are auto set, and the calculated values are 8.87 for the overcurrent and 3.85 for the undercurrent. So the drawn current by the motor was in between these, around 5 and 6 as we noticed, and according to that the overcurrent and undercurrent values are set automatically by the device. So you need not get into the settings and make the necessary setting adjustments. It's pretty easy to make those settings. Now if at all you want to fine tune that undercurrent and overcurrent values, you can always get into the settings menu and do. So in order to get into the settings menu, you see this very first button on the left hand side which says set. Press and hold this. Pressing and holding this will first display the values and then enter to the overload settings. So in order to change the overload value, when it says OL and the value blinks, you can increase or decrease the value. Right now it is set to 8.5. You can always decrease. So decreasing is using the third key and increasing is by using the second key. So once overload value is set, press the set button once. It will then ask for the second setting, which is DR or the dry run or the undercurrent setting, which is set to 3.85 by automatic auto set feature. You can again bring it down or go up likewise. So once you arrive at the right value, you can press this button. The values are set. So setting is also pretty simple. If at all you want to make it more simpler, you can use the second button. So this is about the auto start feature. So if you want to switch off the auto start, you can press and hold this again for 5 seconds. It says auto off. So this means the auto start feature is off. So to switch off the motor, you can use the red button. So this is about the auto start feature, auto set feature, settings, the setting parameters. Now we'll quickly go ahead and have a look at the tripping characteristics. So in order to do that, we will, since the motor was drawing around 5 or 6 ampere, what I'll do is I'll set the overcurrent to a higher value just to see how the motor turns out due to overload error. Sorry, overcurrent will be set to a lower value, sorry. So since the motor was drawing around 5, I'll make this as 4.75 for overload. Dry run we will leave it as it is at 3.25. So now I know that the motor is drawing around 6 ampere. Purposefully I've set the overload value to a lower value just to see how the starter turns off the motor. I'll be switching on the motor. The motor is on. Motor is drawing around 6 ampere, but the overload is set for a lower value. So the controller senses that. It has sensed that the motor drawn current is higher than the set overload value. This blinks for 12 seconds and turns off the motor. So, yeah, there you go. The motor switched off. So this display on the LCD stays as is. It says overload and the last drawn current by the motor was 5.46, whereas the set overload value is way lesser than this. So even if there is a power cut and power resumption in between, you will still see that the value holds on to that. The error condition will still be there. It says OL at 5.46. So this will stay till you start the motor for the next time. So it says error. ERR is the error on the under the voltage, and this is the reason, error reason. So voltage and the error. So what error we'll see in the second screen. So OL, overload error, and 5.46 is the drawn current. So we can now quickly check the undercurrent reading also, or undercurrent trip also. Overload will set it to a higher value. So we'll set the dry run. Since it was drawing around 5 or 6 ampere, I would set dry run at 6.5 just to show you the dry run tripping. We'll switch on the motor again. The motor turned on. I press the green button. So the motor is drawing 6.4, 6.2. The motor should turn off due to dry run error now. Yeah, there you go. Dry run is detected. One of the line is drawing 5.52, which is lower than the set dry run value. So this screen shows like this always. So to stay like in this, so that the user, even if he comes and has a look at the display, he will get to know that the motor had turned off due to this particular error and the drawn current was this much. So it has turned off due to dry run error and the drawn current was 5.52 ampere. So this is about undercurrent and overcurrent protection offered from the device. So overcurrent I'll leave as is, and dry run value will decrease it further just to bring it inside the range. So this was about the dry run and overload trip. Now we will be switching back on the device. So the last display would be for the single phase protection. So now the motor is on. We will be disconnecting one of the lines. The instantaneous trip time would be for 2 seconds. So now let me turn off. One of the phase is getting cut now. I've turned off one of the phase. So it says SP and the motor switched off. Okay, so it had switched off due to SP error or the single phase error. You can see that on the display. So it says SP, and it will also display which line had the SP error. So there is an error, we will check which error, SP error on the second line. So this was the line which we had turned off, so Y line was at fault. So that is what this controller indicates. So this is about the features of this particular product. And again, to bring it back to normal, we can always press the green button to switch it on, and turn off again is using red button. There's another feature which we have not mentioned, which is called as rotor lock. So just in case the motor for some reason draws 4 times more current than the set overload value, that is when there will be an instantaneous trip of within 1 second or 2 seconds, and there will be a different reason displayed on the screen, so it says rotor lock. So that means that there's something wrong with the motor and we are not allowing the motor to run. Okay, so this is pretty much about the display. The unit is very simple, it is very easily replaceable just in case you want to, and there's a great warranty offered for this product, and this is a very compact device which fits in the household application. So if you're using for household, you might not need auto start, you can just keep it off always and use it as a manual functionality. Then it is suitable for the industrial application, agricultural application, and any application that involves running the 3-phase motors. And I hope the video is clear. So in case you have any queries or if you want to purchase this product, you can always reach us out. Our contact number is 9972243774, and our website address is www.narenelectrics.in. You can browse our website and even purchase this product from our website. Thank you for watching this video.